Hi guys, welcome to Math Lesson 85. Today we're learning about comparing fractions. So first I want you to look at my green fractions right here. Well, the fractions are in blue, but the shapes are green. Okay, for each of these fractions, remember that the color, or the shaded part, the part with color, the pieces that you choose, that's your numerator. Then your total number of pieces, that's your denominator. So here I have 2 colored pieces out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. And it's the same for each of these cards. So here I have 3 pieces out of 5, Here I have 4 colored pieces out of 5. Now, when my fractions all have the same denominator, remember that's the name for the bottom number is denominator, the name for the top number is numerator. When my fractions have the same denominator, the largest fraction is the one with the largest numerator. And the smallest fraction is the one with the smallest numerator. And you can see that. This one's smaller than this one. This one's the biggest one. This one's the smallest one. Now, how about if we have 1 as our numerator? Any fraction with 1 as the numerator is called a unit fraction. And if I compare other unit fractions, then it's a little bit different. Look at this one. I have 1 out of 2 pieces, 1/2. Here I have 1 out of 3 pieces, 1/3. This one's 1 out of 4 pieces, 1/4. Which one's bigger this time? The one with the smaller denominator. The reason for that is that it's divided into less pieces than it is over here. So when your numerator is 1, the largest fraction has the smallest denominator, and the smallest fraction has the largest denominator. Okay, so don't let yourself get confused. Okay, let's look at exercise 1. It's on page 169. We're on pages 169 to 170 today, so go ahead and make sure you have that. Exercise 1 says, write these fractions in order from smallest to largest. So you have 3/10, 7/10, 1/10, 5/10, 4/10, 9/10. For each of these fractions, notice that the denominator is the same. So to write them in order from smallest to largest, I'm going to look for the fraction with the smallest denominator. The smallest numerator. The denominators are all the same. The smallest numerator is 1. So that's my first fraction, 1/10. You can cross it out to make sure you don't use it again. You're done. All right, now look for the next one. Well, there is no 2, but there is a 3. So that one comes next, 3/10. Now look for the next one. Well, after 3 is 4. Oh, we do have 4. So 4/10. After 4 is 5, which we do have, 5/10. After 5 is 6, there's no 6. Next is 7, 7/10. And the last one, 9/10. Okay, it's as simple as that. All right, number 2 says, write these unit fractions in order from smallest to largest. So all of these fractions have 1 as the numerator. So the smallest one has to be the one with the largest denominator. Out of all these numbers, 12, 2, 6, 3, 8, and 4, which one's the biggest? 12. So 1/12 comes first. Okay, now going backwards. Which one would come next? 2, 6, 3, 8, 4. Out of these numbers that are left, 8 is the biggest. So next is 1/8. Now to 2, 6, 3, 4. 6 is the biggest, so 6 comes next. Now we just have 2, 3, and 4. 4 is the biggest. And I'm going to let you finish this one on your own. Which one would come next? 1/3 or 1/2? Okay, look at number 3 on your paper. It says, what fractional part of each figure is shaded? So, look at the colored part. In the numerator, write down how many pieces are colored. In the denominator, write down how many pieces you have in all. So for letter A, how many green pieces do you have? 1. How many pieces do you have in that triangle in all? 2. So your fraction is 1/2. Okay, do the same with B, C, and D. Number 4 we're going to do together. Letter A says, how many halves are in one circle? So they show you a circle divided in halves. How many pieces are there? 2, excellent. Look at letter B. How many fourths are in one circle? Well, look at your circle. It's divided into fourths. How many pieces is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So fourths is 4. Letter C, how many thirds are in one circle? Look at your circle, count the pieces. 3, very good. Letter D, which is greater, 1/2 or 1/4? Well, look at your circles. They show you 1/2 first and then 1/4 second. 1 is our numerator, so when 1 is our numerator, our bigger fraction has the smaller denominator. So the bigger fraction is 1/2. Good job. Letter E, which is greater, 1/3 or 1/6? Well, if you look at your pictures, 1/3 is the first picture, 1 out of 3 pieces. 1/6 is the second picture, 1 out of 6 pieces. Which one is bigger? Well, both of my numerators are 1, so it's the one with the smaller denominator, 1/3. Letter F, how many half inches are needed to make 1 inch? Okay, so I think my ruler went away. It's hiding somewhere. Okay, oh, no, I found it. Here's my ruler, okay? Look at the inch. Here's 1/2 of an inch, and there's the other half. How many halves are in that 1 inch? 1, 2. 2 halves. And that's the way a half always go. A half divides something into 2 equal pieces. So the answer to letter F is 2. All right, turn now to the top of page 170. We're going to start out by converting. Number 5, convert the measures. So here are your 4 measures. Now, just like yesterday, I'm only going to walk you through the steps, but you have to do the actual math yourself. So first I'm converting in letter A, 16 gallons to how many quarts? All right, well, I start out by writing that I'm going from 16 gallons, and I'm going 2 quarts from my gallons. Now, where you do your work, you have the circles 1, 2, 3. You can ignore those and just do your work in the space that you have, okay? So now I write my conversion factor. What's my conversion factor for quarts and gallons? 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Should I multiply or divide? Well, since my number that's bigger than 1 is on the top, I multiply. Very good. So multiply 16 times 4 and put the answer in the blank. Now I have 16 quarts is how many pints? So I'll set it up, 16 quarts. I'm changing to pints from quarts. What's my conversion factor? It's one of the ones we don't have cards for, so it's easier to forget. There are 8 quarts in 1 pint. Do I multiply or divide? Well, because my number that's bigger than 1 is on the bottom, I divide. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to change from 15 feet to yards. So set up your problem. 15 feet, changing it to yards from feet. Okay, what's my conversion factor? There are 3 feet in 1 yard. Since my number that's bigger than 1 is on the bottom, I divide. So divide 15 by 3 and put your answer in the blank. Last one, letter D. 7 feet is how many inches? We start by setting it up. 7 feet. We're changing to inches from feet. What's my conversion factor for inches to feet? 12 inches in 1 foot. Do I multiply or do I divide? Well, because my number that's greater than 1 is on top, I multiply. 7 times 12, put your answer in the blank. Okay, number 6 says, mark the circle under the circles that have wrong labels and label them correctly. All right, let's look at letter A. Here's my circle. It's been divided into 2 pieces. So is each piece 1 over 2? Yes, because this is 1 out of 2 pieces. This is 1 out of 2 pieces. So this one is good. We don't need to do anything to it. We leave it alone. Letter B. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. What's my fraction? It says 1 over 5. But is each piece 1 out of 5? No, it's not. So first of all, we're going to color in that bubble. Okay, then we're going to change these so that they are the correct fraction. It should be 1 out of 4, not 1 out of 5. So change each fraction. You should have room to write it inside your circle, but if you feel like you don't, write it outside, but change each fraction so that it's 1 over 4. All right, letter C. I have 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Is each piece 1 out of 3? Well, I have a total of 1, 2, 3 pieces, so yes. So I don't do anything to letter C, it's all good. I leave it like it is. All right, and the last one, letter D, I have 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, and 1/6. So is each piece 1 out of 6? Well, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 5 pieces, not 6. So this one is incorrect. Color in the bubble. And now we need to change each fraction. So it says 1 out of 5, not 1 out of 6. Okay, that's how you do number 6. Number 7, follow the signs. Number 8, divide and check. Make sure you bring your remainder to the top, and when you check, you add it in after you multiply. Brain Booster at the bottom, it says, what fractional part of each rectangle is shaded? So count the colored pieces, that goes in the top. Count the total pieces, that goes in the bottom. Do that for each rectangle. Then at the bottom it says all of these rectangles are the same size. So is the same amount shaded or colored in each of them? Yes or no? Okay, that is it for today's lesson. Let me know if you need any help, if you have any questions. Love you guys very much, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.